Welcome back to my channel. Today we will learn about the issue currently unfolding on CBS's The Bold and the Beautiful. In this latest explosive chapter of the series, we witness a tangled web of seduction, betrayal, and heartache that threatens to tear apart long-held alliances and redefine the power dynamics within Forrester Creations. The story centers on the shifting affections of Carter, the relentless schemes of Daphne, and the desperate measures taken by Hope to protect what she holds dear. Every moment is charged with emotion, and every decision comes with a price that could alter the futures of these characters forever. For many months, Daphne had been meticulously executing her plan to seduce Carter. With every passing day, her efforts grew bolder as she carefully observed Carter's changing demeanor and noticed subtle signs that his attention was slowly shifting in her direction. Daphne, known for her captivating charm and undeniable allure, felt a surge of excitement as she realized that her persistent advances might finally be bearing fruit. She had tried countless approaches, flirtatious remarks, lingering glances, and carefully orchestrated moments of intimacy, and slowly, her plan began to work. The news that Carter was starting to take notice of her made Daphne feel invigorated and hopeful that her strategy was on the verge of success. At the same time, Carter himself was undergoing a significant transformation. Once a man firmly dedicated to his loyalty to the Forrester family, Carter had recently started questioning his long-held alliances. He had been seriously considering returning control of Forrester Creations to Ridge, believing that, after all, the company was the legacy of the Forrester family, a family that had once taken him in and supported him when he first arrived in Los Angeles. This idea was rooted in gratitude for the help he had received and in a desire to set things right by honoring the very people who had given him a chance. However, this decision had not gone unnoticed by those who had different ambitions. Hope, who had always coveted power and longed for greater control over the company, vehemently opposed Carter's plan. She viewed his intention to restore the company to the Forrester family as a sign of weakness and naivety, a betrayal of the power and influence she believed they had fought so hard to secure. Hope's objections were fierce and uncompromising. She could not understand why Carter, who had once been such a determined and visionary partner in their joint plans to transform Forrester Creations into a global fashion powerhouse, would now choose to give up that power. In her eyes, the decision to return the company was not only a step backward but also a direct affront to everything they had worked for. Determined to prevent Carter from making what she saw as a catastrophic mistake, Hope tried every method at her disposal to console and persuade him to rethink his decision. Despite her best efforts, however, the emotional rift between them began to widen, and the love they once shared started to show signs of cracking under the weight of conflicting ambitions. In the midst of this turmoil, Carter found solace in an unexpected confidant, Daphne. One evening, overwhelmed by his internal struggle and burdened by the memories of how the Forrester family had once embraced him, Carter sought out Daphne. In a quiet moment away from the prying eyes of the company, he opened up to her about his past. He spoke of the days when the Forrester family had supported him unconditionally, offering him a place in their inner circle when he was just a newcomer trying to find his way in Los Angeles. He recalled with both pride and sorrow how every success he had achieved was made possible by their kindness and mentorship. Yet, in the process of chasing power and ambition, he felt that he had betrayed those very people who had given him so much. As Carter poured out his heart, Daphne listened intently. She wrapped her arms around him as he broke down, tears streaming down his face as the weight of his guilt and inner conflict became too much to bear. Daphne's tender reassurances and comforting words provided him with a temporary escape from the overwhelming remorse he felt for what he had done. In that vulnerable moment, the distance between them seemed to vanish as the emotional intensity of the conversation deepened. It was a night of raw honesty, a night where Carter, who had long hidden his pain behind a facade of ambition, allowed himself to be truly seen by someone who cared. The intimacy of the moment eventually escalated. As the night progressed and the shared vulnerability of their encounter brought them closer together, Daphne and Carter found themselves caught up in a whirlwind of passion. In a moment that seemed both inevitable and tragic, the two shared a romantic kiss, a kiss that symbolized everything that had been left unsaid and all the suppressed emotions that had finally come to the surface. The kiss was a powerful, heart-stopping moment that could have signaled a turning point in their relationship, an admission that the lines between right and wrong had blurred in the heat of the moment. But fate, as always, had other plans. In an unexpected twist that shattered the fragile intimacy, Hope suddenly walked in and witnessed the kiss. The sight of Carter and Daphne locked in a passionate embrace was too much for her to bear. Shock and betrayal flashed across her face as she realized that the man she loved had been unfaithful, even if only for a brief, impulsive moment. In that instant, Hope's world came crashing down. The realization of what she had just seen left her stunned, her heart breaking under the weight of perceived betrayal. Without uttering a word, Hope turned and fled the scene, leaving Carter to scramble after her in a desperate bid to explain. Carter, now frantic and filled with regret, ran after Hope, calling out for her to stop and listen. He tried to explain that the kiss had been nothing more than a fleeting mistake, a momentary lapse in judgment that did not reflect his true feelings for her. He pleaded that he had never truly harbored any romantic desire for Daphne and that the passion shared was merely a byproduct of his overwhelming emotional turmoil. Despite his desperate attempts at an explanation, Hope's heart was already shattered. She wept uncontrollably, unable to trust his words in the wake of such a betrayal. Yet as the tears of heartbreak flowed and the silence stretched on, Hope began to rethink her reaction. The pain of the moment was overwhelming, but deep down she still clung to the love she had for Carter. In a moment of profound reflection, Hope declared that she would be willing to forgive him, but only if he agreed to relinquish control of Forrester Creations and hand over the power to her. This ultimatum struck at the very core of their partnership. Hope believed that by controlling the company, she could safeguard their future and prevent any further betrayals from fracturing their relationship. It was a stark demand, one that forced Carter to choose between his enduring love for Hope and the remnants of his ambition and loyalty to the family he once knew. Carter, who had always loved Hope with a deep and abiding passion, found himself torn between conflicting desires. On one hand, he recognized the undeniable truth in Hope's words, that the bond they shared was worth preserving above all else, and that the dream of a shared future was too precious to sacrifice on the altar of ambition. On the other hand, the idea of surrendering the power and influence he had fought so hard to attain was a bitter pill to swallow. For a long time, Carter had been navigating a delicate balance. Torn between his commitment to honor the legacy of the Forrester family and his own ambition to control the destiny of the company. Now, in the face of Hope's ultimatum, that internal conflict reached a crescendo. The choice before him was excruciatingly clear. Carter's heart, battered by the betrayals and emotional upheavals of recent times, longed to mend the broken trust with Hope. Yet the price of reconciliation was steep, surrendering the power of Forrester Creations, an asset that had once symbolized his achievements and identity. As he stood at the crossroads of love and ambition, Carter's internal struggle played out in every anguished tear and every desperate plea for understanding. In the quiet moments after Hope's departure, he found himself alone with his thoughts, grappling with the realization that his actions had set in motion a chain of events that could irrevocably alter their lives. For Hope, the journey from shock to forgiveness was not instantaneous. The betrayal had cut deep, and her tears of anger and sorrow mingled with a lingering hope for redemption. In her heart, she believed that forgiveness was possible, if only Carter could prove his commitment by giving up the control of the company and reaffirming his love for her. She saw this as a path to healing, a way to rebuild the foundation of their relationship on a bedrock of trust and mutual respect. The power of Forrester Creations, in her eyes, had become a symbol of the fractured alliance between them, and reclaiming it would be a necessary step toward mending what had been broken. In the days that followed the fateful kiss and its devastating aftermath, emotions ran high and every interaction between Carter and Hope was fraught with tension. Carter, haunted by the memory of that forbidden kiss and the pain it caused, made repeated attempts to reach out to Hope, to reassure her of his unwavering love and devotion. His voice trembled with remorse as he recounted the events of that night, insisting that his heart remained true to her alone. But Hope, still grappling with the shock of betrayal, found it hard to trust his words. Her mind was a whirlwind of conflicting emotions, anger, sorrow, and a desperate yearning for the security of their former unity. As the tension within their relationship grew, the stakes extended far beyond the realm of personal heartache. The fate of Forrester Creations, a company that had long been the symbol of family legacy and ambition, now hung in the balance. The decision that Carter was forced to make would not only determine the future of his own heart, but would also reshape the destiny of the company and, by extension, the lives of everyone connected to it. Hope's ultimatum, her demand that Carter hand over the reins of power, became the focal point of a battle between love and ambition, between the desire for personal fulfillment and the relentless pull of legacy and pride. In this turbulent and emotional landscape, the characters of the bold and the beautiful are forced to confront truths that cut to the core of their identities. Daphne's long-planned seduction, once a scheme to infiltrate Carter's defenses, had inadvertently triggered a cascade of revelations that exposed the fragility of loyalty and the high cost of unchecked ambition. Carter's momentary lapse, his brief surrender to the pressures of a tumultuous existence, became the catalyst for a confrontation that would test the very limits of forgiveness and trust. And Hope, whose heart had long been a battleground of desire and determination, now found herself standing at a precipice, forced to choose between holding on to a love that was slipping away or reclaiming the power that she believed was rightfully hers. As the narrative hurtles toward an uncertain future, every word, every gesture, and every whispered promise becomes a piece of a puzzle that, when assembled, tells the story of a love tested by betrayal, ambition, and the inexorable march of destiny. The once idealistic partnership between Carter and Hope now lies in ruins, a casualty of choices made in the heat of passion and the cold logic of power. Their journey, marked by moments of intense intimacy and crushing heartache, is a reminder that even the strongest bonds can be shattered when ambition and desire collide. The coming days promise even more twists and turns. Will Carter, tormented by regret and desperate to salvage what remains of his love for Hope, finally agree to relinquish the power of Forrester Creations in a bid to restore their relationship? Or will the allure of control prove too potent a force, driving him further away from the woman who once meant everything to him? And how will Hope, whose determination to protect her vision for the future of the company now stands as both a shield and a barrier, navigate the treacherous waters of love and power when the truth of that fateful kiss becomes an indelible scar on their hearts? As we follow the unfolding drama in The Bold and the Beautiful, one thing is certain: the path ahead is fraught with uncertainty, heartbreak, and a relentless pursuit of redemption. Carter's confession of regret, his tearful moments of vulnerability with Daphne, and the explosive confrontation with Hope all serve as stark reminders that in this world, love is a battlefield where every misstep can lead to irreversible consequences. Hope's ultimatum, a demand that the power of Forrester Creations be transferred into her hands as a condition for forgiveness, casts a long shadow over the future of the company and the legacy of the family that once stood united. In the end, the choices made tonight will reverberate for years to come. The delicate balance between ambition and affection, between personal dreams and family loyalty, hangs by a thread. Carter's love for Hope is undeniable, Yet his internal conflict and the lure of power have driven him to a precipice from which there may be no return. As Hope grapples with the pain of betrayal and the responsibility of safeguarding her future, the question remains, can love truly conquer all, or will the scars of this night forever define the fates of those caught in its wake? Next, we're diving into the latest drama in the world of the bold and the beautiful, where Hope Logan finds herself at a crossroads. Is she destined to keep chasing after an elusive happiness, or is it time for a new chapter with a fresh face in her life? Let's break it all down. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, what's next for Hope Logan? As the drama continues to unfold, many fans are wondering, what does the future hold for Hope Logan? Her past relationships have been a roller coaster of emotions, betrayals, and unfulfilled desires. Some viewers believe that it's time for Hope to stop repeating the same mistakes and finally move on from the complicated web of relationships that have defined her life. For years, Hope has been entangled with Liam Spencer and Thomas Forrester, both of whom have brought their fair share of complications. But should she keep looking backward, or is there someone new on the horizon? Many fans are calling for the introduction of a brand new character, someone completely unexpected, someone who isn't weighed down by past relationships or old rivalries. A fresh love interest could bring Hope the stability and romance she's been yearning for. Could this mystery man be the key to unlocking the happiness that has always seemed just out of reach? Not only would a new romance give Hope a chance to redefine herself, but it would also shake up the dynamics of the bold and the beautiful in an exciting way. Could he be a powerful businessman, a charming stranger, or someone with a hidden past that adds a new layer of intrigue to the show? The possibilities are endless, and fans are eager to see what's next. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, Hope wants what Steffi has. There was a time when Hope Logan seemed to have everything she ever wanted, or so it appeared. She had a home with Liam Spencer, a family, and the sense of security she had longed for. But deep down, there was always a lingering sense of dissatisfaction. While she was living her life, another woman, Steffi Forrester, was building something that Hope couldn't ignore, a stable, passionate, and deeply fulfilling relationship with Dr. John Finnegan. Steffi and Finn's love story has been nothing short of a fairy tale. He is not only devoted to her, but also provides the kind of emotional security that Hope has struggled to find. Watching them together may have stirred an undeniable envy in Hope, a realization that she, too, wanted something real, something that wasn't built on the shifting sands of past regrets and unresolved tensions. This might explain why Hope made an attempt to insert herself into Steffi's life last year. Whether consciously or not, Hope seems drawn to the life that Steffi has built. But the problem is, wanting something and actually being able to create it for yourself are two different things. Despite having Carter Walton by her side in recent months, their connection feels more transactional than passionate. It lacks the intensity, the romance, and the depth that true love demands. If Hope is going to break free from the cycle of longing and frustration, she needs to stop looking at Steffi's life and start focusing on creating her own version of happiness. Could this mean stepping away from the people who have been a constant presence in her love life? Should she take a break from romance altogether and focus on personal growth? Or is it time for her to take a risk and fall for someone completely unexpected? Final thoughts, what's next for Hope? One thing is certain, Hope Logan can't continue down the same path. Whether she finally finds a new love or decides to focus on herself, a major shift is needed. Fans are watching closely, eager to see whether she will break free from the patterns of the past or continue chasing something that might always remain just beyond her grasp. What do you think? Does Hope need a brand new love interest, or should she take time to focus on herself? Let us know your thoughts, and as always, stay tuned for more bold and the beautiful spoilers.